Whoa, now this your boy Big Rich, and today we're gonna do a tutorial on drum compression inside the famous, the infamous Cone drum designer in Reason 5. This tutorial is gonna be going out to my partner, the best producer, you know what I'm saying, walking right now, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Prime Tracks out there in Memphis, Tennessee. You know what I'm saying, what it do, baby? You know what I'm saying? Me and him had a little chit-chat conversation about a couple of days ago, and you know what I'm saying, we was talking about, you know, how to beef up them drums in Reason, having them, you know what I'm saying, having the same amplitude as, you know, they would come out like an MPC or whatever the case may be. Mr. Prime was asking me about how to get your kicks and snares and stuff like that to have this big, like a beefy sound, you know what I'm saying, very big and bold, you know what I'm saying, a very punchy sound. It can be achieved, you know what I'm saying. A lot of people out there are still using the red drum. Shout out to the red drum. I love the red drum for what it does and stuff like that, but the red drum is limited to what it can do. The red drum, all it can do, let me pull up the red drum just to give you a little insight. Now, you see, the red drum is laid out 10, you know what I'm saying, 10 slots. You can put 10 sounds in there. The red drum can do a lot, you know what I'm saying. You can do your level, you can do your pan. These two little knobs right there, you can send, those are like send tracks, you know what I'm saying. You can send the signal, you can send that drum signal to an effect, and it'll mix it in and stuff like that. You can adjust the tone, the velocity of the, you know what I'm saying, the velocity of the drum, and, you know, adjust the pitch and everything like that. But that's it. You can't apply, you can apply effects, but you have to go on the back, route these effects out, you know what I'm saying. You have to go, let's just say, okay, let me take that out of there right there. All right, let's just say you got a compressor, right? You have to go in there, route that sound into the compressor, and route that back into a mixer. Or let's just say you're gonna put that back into the track. You feel me? You understand what I'm saying? So it doesn't make sense. You know, it's a lot more on your CPU and stuff like that, and you gotta do all this mixing. Let's stop that. You know what I'm saying? Making beats is, you know, you want to try to keep it simple as possible and at a fast pace. When Reason 5 came out with Cone Drum Designer, I thought it was like the best thing smoking. You feel me? You got kind of like this MPC feel and look to it, and you have a little bit added features to your drums. You feel what I'm saying? That's why you see these effect modules on each pad. You feel me? You get 2 effect modules on each pad. You understand what I'm saying? So let's just say we got drum 1. Now, as you see, we got this drum right here, and what I like to do is I use a lot of drum samples. You feel me? So I like to use the NN-Nano sampler. All right, and what I do is on the NN-Nano sampler, normally your level knob right here be set at 100. You know what I'm saying? And when you load up a sample in Nano sampler, your default level is set at 80. You get a decent amount of amplitude for your drum, but when you want to increase that amplitude on the drum, you know, crank that little level up all the way to 127. Make your drums hot. You know what I'm saying? A lot of your producers that use MPCs and they say, oh man, you know, I had, you know, got my MPC, you know what I'm saying, fixed up to have, you know, run all them drums hot, you know what I'm saying, at a high level of dB. That's what they talking about. They just go in there and, you know what I'm saying, they crank the initial levels up and stuff like that. Now when I press on that drum, it's loud as hell. You know what I'm saying? It's banging. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, it's banging. All right, and let me put that drum. I don't know why that was paying all the way to the left. Excuse me. But that drum is banging, so we got to back off. And always remember, it's better to cut than to boost sometimes. You always want to cut than the boost. Remember that. That's a golden rule right there. That it goes with EQ too. But that's another tutorial. I ain't gonna get on that right now. But you know what I'm saying, you want to back off on your drums. That way you have room to adjust. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep it at the 12 o'clock position. That should be good for our tutorial. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to effects 1. I'm gonna pull up the compressor. First thing smoking. Bam, right there. Alright, now the second thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring the compressor back to normal. You know what I'm saying? Bring the normality back to the compressor. So I'm gonna back off on the amount, and the amount is pretty much the threshold, and I think the ratio all kind of mixed up together because you only got 4 basic controls on this compressor right here. So you bring the amount to 0, bring the makeup gain to 0, bring the attack time all the way to 127 because that's gonna be a slow attack time, which means you know what I'm saying, you're not gonna have that much compression going on. And then you want to bring the release time all the way to 0. That means, you know what I'm saying, the compressor is really, you're gonna be letting go real fast. You know what I'm saying? It's not, I'll explain all the terminology later. Alright, right now, you're not hearing no compression. Why? Because the mount button is at 0. You feel me? Alright, cool. Alright, now the mount button is pretty much a threshold type of button. I'm keep saying button. It's a knob, god damn it. But the mount knob is a threshold type knob. You feel what I'm saying? If you understand compressors, I think it's kind of like has a little bit to do with ratio and threshold all in one little knob. You know what I'm saying? But that kind of like lets the compressor know how much compression you want to put on the drums. So when you listen to this drum, listen to it very closely and pay attention to the attack on the drum. You almost got like this push to it, like a boom, 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 boom. Now, let's just say you was a person that didn't like the initial attack of it. You know what I'm saying? But you want more bottom. You want more fullness. You want more beef out of that drum sample. This is where compression starts and is an important factor. And what we're going to do and what we're going to achieve in this type of compressor on this drum sample is called upward compression. This is what this compressor is kind of like made for, upward compression. So let's get started on just taking away that initial attack. Now, when we bring the mount knob, let's just say at the 9 o'clock position, notice how you don't have that attack. See how it goes away just a little bit and you hear the drum sample is not as present. Almost like we just turned the volume down just a little bit. Now I'm going to bring it up to the 12 o'clock position. You're still hearing, you're starting to hear a little bit more volume go away. Let's bring it all the way to goddamn to the 5 o'clock position. See how, you know what I'm saying, I'm pressing it hard and, you know what I'm saying, it's like somebody just turned it down, you know what I'm saying, 6 dB. You understand what I'm saying? So let's bring it back to 9 o'clock. Actually, let's bring it to let's bring it about the 11 o'clock position. That should be good. All right. Now, you're not hearing that much of a compression. You want to know why? It's only because our attack time, we've got a very, 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 very slow attack time. Normally, your attack time is how fast you want the compressor to react to compression on this drum sample. You feel me? All right. So we got a very slow attack time, which means compression is not going to start instantaneously. Now, if you bring that attack knob all the way to the left, that's when the compressor really going to start kicking in. You want to hear the results? This is a very slow attack time at 127. You start bringing that to the left, watch. Or here. God damn, you wondering like, man, what happened to that drum sample, bro? It's like you just turned that bitch down. No, I didn't turn anything down. That's when the compression start reacting real fast. That's why it's a fast attack time on the compressor. You get it? You hear it? You understand it? You know what I'm saying? You got any questions? You already know how to holler at me. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? We got our amount or our threshold, you know what I'm saying, set very high. So let's back off that and let's put it at the 9 o'clock position. And let's keep this attack time right there where it's at. Now you're starting to hear where we shaved off that initial attack time than it was before. I'm going to turn the compressor off and you're going to understand where I'm coming from. Compressor is off. This is the original drum sample. See how it's got that punch? You know what I'm saying? That unwanted punch that we don't want. You turn the compressor back on. all that shit goes away, and you just kind of like just getting like a low volume, right? All right, let's move on to the release time. Your release time is, you know what I'm saying, how fast the compressor is going to stop working. You understand what I'm saying? All the way to the left, which means it's going to react real fast. It's kind of like, it's almost like going out one ear through the other one. Now, let's just say you wanted to have a slow, you still want to have a little bit compression coming in, and I wish the compressor had like a gain reduction meter, and you could understand where I was coming from, and you could see the meter doing the gain reduction. But in this case, it's always better to hear than to see. You understand what I'm saying? So we're gonna turn the release knob all the way to the right. You know what I'm saying? At a value of 127, as you see. Okay. Now we're gonna adjust it back to the left, and you're gonna start seeing or hearing the difference. Watch or hear. As I turned it to the left, you start hearing more of that drum sample get, you know what I'm saying, get a little fuller and stuff like that. All you pretty much doing was you was shortening up how fast that, you know what I'm saying, that compressor is going to be, you know what I'm saying, stop compression. You know, so let's just set this release time about right there, you know what I'm saying. It's like a mid-fast release setting, you know what I'm saying. We still got a little of that compression tailing off, and we got a kind of like a fast to almost mid-fast attack time. That way, you know what I'm saying, the compressor is not attacking instantaneously, but it's catching it right there when that initial transient attack starts on that drum sample. You feel what I'm saying? That way we shaving off the top of that sample. Now, when we take the compressor off, you notice, damn, the original, you wondering like, okay, now Rich, now come on, Rich. Now, the original sample, you know what I'm saying, we got that full punch, you know what I'm saying, it's punching and shit like that, but when you turn the compressor on, you know what I'm saying, you taking away from the drum sample, you know, it just sound weak. Yeah, it does sound weak. It sounds weak for a reason. Only because you took in that initial attack away from the drum sample, and you have a kind of like a loss of the how can I say this, the dynamic attacks on the dynamic and stuff like that, if that makes sense to you. You know what I'm saying? You almost kind of like took in a little bit of dynamics away from that drum sample. You know what I'm saying? That's the compressed drum. Take it off. That's the original drum sample. Now, the original drum sample, yeah, it's got that attack time, that oomph in it. Now, this is where the compressor comes into play right here. All right, and this is what we call in school upward compression. All right, now, you see that big old knob at the bottom? It says make up gain. Point is straightforward. It's called makeup gain. Whatever we did in the compression settings of the mount, the attack, and the release knobs, we're gonna make up back that gain to the original level of the original drum sample. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense. I can't explain it even more. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna do it. You watch me turn my gain knob all the way, you know what I'm saying, clockwise, and you're gonna start hearing the effects. Now, I'm gonna let you listen to the original drum sample just to get your understanding of where the level is at. All right, we're gonna turn the compressor back on, and we're gonna keep a little drum beat, and you're gonna start feeling it, and you're gonna start hearing, you know what I'm saying, the compression on the drum. All right, the kick drum. Let's go. All right, now let's just check our levels and see where we at, you know what I'm saying, versus the original drum sample and the compressed drum sample. All right, now this is the original. All right, now that's the original drum sample. You know what I'm saying? It's got a nice little attack time, you know, nice little punch to it. But it sounds like it's not beefy enough. It don't sound like it's got that You know what I'm saying? Let's turn that compression back on. We got our makeup gain right now set at in between the 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock position. Here are the results. now you're starting to hear that drum sample. It doesn't have that initial attack time, but you hear that oomph. It's almost like you hear it in between, right there where your, you know what I'm saying, where your rib cage is and your chest, right there above your stomach. You feel that pressure right there, you know what I'm saying, in the mid part. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want to achieve in the hip hop world dealing with kicks. You feel what I'm saying? You want to have that big, bulky, I can't explain it. All I could do is type of sound, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Versus a boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? You want your drums to have a lot of oomph and a lot of push, and at the same time, a lot of weight behind your kick drums, you know what I'm saying? So let's check our levels versus the original drum sample. I think they're, you know what I'm saying, right at the same level, far as amplitude wise, you know what I'm saying, just by hearing. We ain't looking at no meters or nothing. We just going by ear. They're kind of the same, you know what I'm saying, but the compressed drum sample has a lot more weight to it, you know what I'm saying, has a lot more oomph, and we can still push that sucker. So let's just bring our level knob to 100, okay? Now this is without the compression. Sounds good, right? Got a lot, you know, sounds good. Turn that compression drum on. Wow. Yeah. You start, you know, my headphones right now, I'm feeling that vibration, you know what I'm saying? I feel it through my ears going all the way down my throat, you know what I'm saying? I feel that push, you know what I'm saying? Versus the original drum sample, all I hear is the tweeters, you know what I'm saying, popping in my headphones like, versus, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like the, you know, difference. I'm trying to give you a visual understanding of what I'm talking about. It's more, you know, the original drum sample is like a, and then the compressed drum sample is like a, you know what I'm saying? You kind of want to have more weight and beef with your drums. And Prime, that's kind of like to answer your question, you know what I'm saying? How you get them drums to have a lot of punch, weight, beefiness to your drums. That's it right there, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how compression works. We could do the same thing with the M-class compressor, but it, you know what I'm saying, I'll go a little in-depth with it. I can explain it, you know what I'm saying, but I don't think I have enough video time. But I can show you a little bit, you know what I'm saying. What you do is you'll set your ratio around in between, you know what I'm saying. You don't want to go past a ratio of 8. You want to keep it in between 6 to 8 ratio. Again, adjust your threshold to taste. Don't even worry about messing with the input gain. Your attack time, you know what I'm saying, you want to keep it right there, in between 1 milliseconds and, I don't know, your attack time, you have to play with it, but you kind of want to keep it on the left hand side of that knob. And your release time, you know, you kind of want to keep it right there in between the mid, you know, 3 o'clock and the 12 o'clock position. If you're lazy and you don't want to mess with the release time, just hit adapt release, and it automatically gonna release the release time for you. And then your output gain is pretty much, again, your makeup gain. You know what I'm saying? So all compressors, they kind of work the same way, but they all have different functions in the way they work. And this compressor on the Kong Drum Designer, it works in a way of upward compression. It's made for you to beef up your drums. It's not made to take away from your drums. You know what I'm saying? It's made to get them drums hitting hard. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is take advantage of it, play around with it, and see that makeup gain? I'm trying to tell you, the compressor on the Kong Drum Designer, it's a fool, bro, on your kicks and your snares, man. Again, man, you know what I'm saying, this concludes my tutorial on compressor in the Kong Drum Designer on a kick drum. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to come back on the snare for your prime tracks and show you a little tutorial on that. But I just want to do a little tutorial on, you know what I'm saying, how to beef up a kick. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm going to go through the little audio example. Original drum sample. Turn that compressor back on. Yes, sir. That's where you get your weight from. You know what I'm saying? Understand compression, and what it does. it's a fool if you use it right, you know what I'm saying? And what we did today was upward compression. So if you got any questions on compression, holla at your boy at coxbeats08@gmail.com. And you know what I'm saying? Follow me on Twitter, and that's twitter.com/BigRich, BIGRYCH. Holla at your boy. I'm out of here. Good night. Holla.